Bob Chapman coming up. I'm not sure if he's on the line yet. And we do have Bob. Good. All right, then we're gonna go to Bob Chapman of the InternationalForecaster.com. In the next 6 minutes, we're gonna talk about this G20, the coming out party of the New World Order, and then we're going to have my buddy on for about 5 minutes. Let's see. Let's go to Bob right now. Bob, did you read this new communique or hear the Gordon Brown speech from yesterday?
I perused it, and he's calling for the New World Order.
Oh, it's absolutely a New World Order takeover document. They were talking about the IMF and the SDR and basically the Federal Reserve coming together. They're talking about establishing their new Financial Stability Board, their FSB. They're talking about going after other countries that are outside of this with sanctions. They're also saying that countries can no longer try to profit off one another if it's detrimental to another country in this, again calling for global government. And then at the end, you know, they let us know they're going to play off of our fear of climate changes by reaffirming their commitment to address the threat of irreversible climate change. You know, it's irreversible, Bob. There's nothing we can do about it, so let's just tax us for it. It's unbelievable.
It certainly is, and you're right about the facts as far as Brown and the others. I think one of the things that's not being enunciated at the meetings, and it's probably the main topic of conversation behind the scenes, and that is the reserve status of the dollar. If you've noticed that there's been virtually nothing said about it. But the dollar is going to be phased out, there's no question. And will they go to a group of, say, 10 currencies as a new international monetary trading unit? That remains to be seen. Probably that's the way they will go at the beginning. As far as the SDR is concerned, there's nothing backing it. It's just an expansion of fiat money, sort of an extension of the Federal Reserve System internationally. And they're all on the wagon. All the big countries, especially the top 20, and they dare not be on the wagon because, as you said, in the communique, they said that, you know, if you step out of line, you're toast. This is essentially what they're saying. And so the SDR will be used, but it doesn't mean anything because there's nothing backing it, and it's going to be between countries for the most part. People aren't going to be running around with SDRs in their pockets. And that's where I think another currency unit comes in until they can merge them all together. And this is going to take some time to do. It isn't going to happen over 2 years or so. It's going to take several years or more. It all depends on what they run into along the way. But I think, in essence, and you could tell this by the body English from President Obama, and that is the U.S. is now experiencing probably the beginning of a long funeral, and the dollar is going to be phased out, SDRs, and then I think a international unit will be formed, and then they'll go for world government after that. And if we don't stop them here in the next year or two, it's really over for us.
Well, I agree. I mean, I don't know if there's any way to stop this. I mean, if you just look at what they're calling for, you know, they want to fund and reform our international financial institutions. They want to promote global trade and reject protectionism. In other words, no internal economies, no self-sustainable economies. They don't want us to produce anything in this country anymore. And then they want to build an inclusive, green, and sustainable recovery. And you know, every time they use that word sustainable, it means less for us, more for them. And I mean, by less for us, it might even mean death for us.
That's exactly true. If you speak against it at some time in the future, you will be incarcerated. There's just no question it's coming. You've seen that in some of the laws that they have in Europe already. If you challenge certain things like the status of immigration, or we just recently in Scandinavia had a case where somebody spoke out about the rape of a domestic woman or someone who lived in I think it was Sweden was raped by 20 immigrants or something like that. And now they brought charges against the person who said, let's get him out of the country. And so all of these people who speak out against anything that they don't like are going to get shut up. And it's eventually going to lead to revolution, there's no question. And they think they can handle it, and I can promise you they're not going to handle it, because you're going to have it in every country. I mean, they're talking now about Mexico falling apart. Mexico's not falling apart. It's them saying that it is.
Well, absolutely. In fact,
economic problems just like everybody else, but you've got a coterie of well-trained narcotics. You might call them soldiers, so to speak, trying to ply their trade because America wants lots of drugs, and the government saying no, you can't do that. For two reasons. Number one, they're not paying them enough money to stay shut up. And number two, the CIA and the banks want the cartels broken up so they can get the business.
Well, if you look at this document, Section 18 is all about Mexico and the IMF's new flexible credit line and supporting Mexico's decision to seek this flexible credit line. So it seems to me, Mexico is right in line with this total global plan to bring in not only a world currency but world government. Hold on one moment, Bob. Let's see if we have my friend on the line. We got him yet, John? No, not yet. Okay. All right.
Incidentally, the people who are running Mexico are all U.S. educated, Ivy League graduates, and they're all in on it. And the election in Mexico was stolen, just like it was in the United States. And they're doing what they want to do. They get troops walking up and down the streets. But how many people they got? They got 40,000 troops. I mean, the country is almost as big as the United States. I mean, do they really think they're going to keep the public down? Guns are illegal in Mexico, but I can tell you right now that, like every other Latin American country, many, many people have guns. And so it's not going to be as easy as what government thinks it's going to be, short of an invasion. But, where is the U.S. going to get the troops from? They're sending another 40,000 to Afghanistan.
Absolutely. Well, I think they're going to rely more on NATO troops as they expand that kind of power. I mean, how are they going to go after these nations that don't go along? I mean, they're reaffirming all these pledges. They set up the framework in the, years, months before these kind of summits. For instance, they're committing to implementing the World Bank reforms agreed to in 2008. They're reaffirming their historic commitments to meeting the Millennium Development Goals, to achieving our respective ODA pledges, including commitments on aid for trade, debt relief, the Gleneagles commitments, and especially to Africa. So they really are just furthering. I mean, this isn't a new document. What we saw was a stage show. I mean, Sarkozy saying, I'm going to walk out. That was all bull. He was never planning to walk out. We need to get something done. All this was set up. I mean, we had Sean Hannity. I don't know if you've seen this clip yet, but Sean Hannity and Dick Morris earlier in the week admitted that we were right and that they were creating a global currency and global governance and UN control. I couldn't believe it. Of course, they referred to us as conspiracy nuts, but at least they gave us credit to the fact that we were right.
Well, we are right. We've been right, at least in my book, since 1960, and they're pushing one way and we're pushing the other. It's just that, there's a small cadre of people like you and Alex and a handful of others, and, they have this giant apparatus at their control, and they have all of this tremendous amounts of funds that they can go and serve up news that is total propaganda. And the public, is so confused and doesn't know what's going on, and they don't know how to grasp it. And then on top of that, they shut up a lot of the third world countries by creating this $1.1 trillion fund, which they're going to subsidize just about everything. The problem with that is they're looking down the barrel of hyperinflation. And it's soon to come, and it's going to be very strong. And that's a sacrifice they've got to make, along with the fact that the dollar is going to go down in value. That has already begun. In fact, we call the top of the dollar market, incidentally. And and over the next year, it'll slowly sink down, and after that, it'll go down more quickly. And all currencies are going to go down against gold. There's no way they can go up. I mean, when let's say you have $1 million outstanding, and you triple it to $3 million, the dollars you've got to be worth 1/3 of what they were before. I mean, there's no mystery to it. It's simple mathematics.
I want to get your take on the IMF saying it's going to sell hundreds of tons. I think it was 400 tons of gold. They've already sold 35 tons of gold. Get your take on that, Bob Chapman. But on the other side, my friend from the police department is going to be on discussing this mass shooting in Binghamton, New York. We'll be back after this. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Burmis, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.